let's just get right into it, actually. Taxes. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with my business taxes.
I have no idea. I can do our bill keeping, our record books, like all of that I can do.
Yeah.
But like taxes, I barely scrape by on my own. Like I use TurboTax, not gonna lie.
Praise
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug for not sponsored.
No. So I brought our stuff to the tax lady and I was like, so we've got vendors. Like we have a bunch of wonderful people that sell their stuff in our store. And she's like, do you have W-9s for them?
What's a
W-9?
I'm
like, what's a W-9? Apparently, it's the equivalent of a W-2 for vendors, and you're supposed to fill it out when you have your stuff in a retail space, so that you as a vendor can get a 1099 miscellaneous back.
Oh,
that
so we
has,
can
like,
claim it?
Yeah, so you guys can claim it as, you know, your business and not just miscellaneous cash you made. And I was unawares, completely unawares. So I'm talking to my tax lady, and she's like, you know, the way we can do this is you can just pay the taxes for everything this year. And I was like
pay income tax, even though you guys, because you're not making all that income because you split it with the creators.
We don't make any income ourselves.
Yeah.
Like Heather and I, we haven't made any money yet.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, soon.
They will.
Yes, we will make money. We are
manifesting it.
We are filling our bank account right now because our online store drops March 1st.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our taxes for all of the income revenue that Lilith's has made in the last year. And since it's our first year, we qualify for like mad deductions. So we won't, knock on wood, have to owe anything after our taxes are filed.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have to. There's so many expenses to starting a business.
Yeah.
Like dumb shit that people don't even think about.
Yeah. Like we went and we set up an LLC way in the beginning because there were 3 of us. Now there's 2.
Yeah. Which we'll be getting into all the tea.
Okay. So, we had the LLC, we had the business license, we had the sales tax, we had the EIN number, we had startup costs, we had merge costs, we had rent and deposit for Elmud and the list goes on.
Right. Never ending.
So with all the expenses we had, our tax lady says, you know, you might owe like $20, maybe. Oh. If something goes weird and we don't qualify for the $5,000 startup business deduction.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes. You didn't know?
No.
Okay, so you qualify for $5,000 as a startup business in deductions, or a deduction on your total expenses if you're going to itemize your return. Most people don't itemize because their expenses are not enough to like overpower that $5,000. So when you do your taxes, start that business on paper, and you'll have that startup business deduction.
Well, I'm glad you told me about it, because it's like it's freeing to own your own business, but also like the taxes and all the regulations, like that's terrifying.
Dude, the more nights that I have spent laying in bed going, oh my God, what did I get? My happy little, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
My happy little ass in here. I question myself every day, and then I get up on Friday mornings and I waddle my happy little ass into the shop. I'm like, you know what? This is why I do this.
Period. Cheers to that.
Like,
cheers to that.
Because it's so enjoyable. I love it more than absolutely anything.
Yeah.
It's just magnificent.
It's just so like, I just think every woman should have a creative outlet and own their own business and just have that freedom, because you're either going to work for yourself and be like, you know, a girl business, a girl boss. It's cliche, but you're either going to be a business or you're going to go work for a corporation and make some man money.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, and like,
I'll be damned. Light me on fire first.
What little I can say, I'm a federal employee. I work out on base. I come home with pennies at the end of the day. You know, I've got two kids right now, bringing home a third on Tuesday.
Are you guys adopting?
We are getting partial custody of my fiance's baby.
Aww.
So we'll have him for 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah. Well, that is a full house.
Yeah. So I got a 3-year-old, an 18-month-old, and I think he's like 8 or 9 weeks.
A baby.
Yeah, which I find really funny because for the last couple of months I have been manifesting a baby.
Yeah.
Like
plot twist.
Like, dude, I want a baby so bad. The hormones are raging. Like, just the baby fever is so bad. My toddler's like almost out of diapers. My 18-month-old, he walks and talks and screams and throws things. I'm just like, I just want a teeny tiny little itty bitty baby.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
And surprise, now I have a teeny tiny little itty bitty baby to take care of and love. And I'm so excited.
That's really exciting. What's his, is it a boy, girl?
Yeah, boy.
What's his name?
I've got 3 boys now.
If you want to say.
His name is, we'll call him AJ.
Okay.
His name is AJ.
Yeah. How
and
exciting.
He's adorable.
So how's Heather? Is Heather doing good? Like,
Heather is Heather.
okay.
You know, she's got all of her fingers and toes in the fire all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
We're doing Lilith's place together, and now I sit on the board for Frosting Families. So, like, she's CEO of Frosting Families, and then she's got Mary Morsels, and she's got the family, and
Yeah.
she's got, you know, an entire farm full of dogs and kids and pigs and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
She has everything. That's a lot.
She's doing good.
Good. Well, that's,
Yeah.
I know she has a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I love that she does the frosted families, I think.
We love it.
I think that's really cool.
We are really enjoying it. We have some plans in the works. We want to throw, you know, a couple of weeks ago, a lady passed away at the Susanville Fort. She was in an accident.
Oh my gosh.
She was with her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've decided that we are going to throw her daughter a massive community birthday party.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we are talking with Thomas over at Highway to the Gaming Zone, and Frosting Families is doing a cake, and we have a party planner who's going to come in and do the party.
Aww.
So whenever the family is ready for that, we're just massive community birthday party. Everybody can show up. We're going to be accepting donations for college fund or summer vacation trip, whatever the family feels like they need to spend it on.
Yeah.
To make this little girl happy. She's
How
like
old is she?
10 years old.
And she was in the car accident when the mom died. Fuck,
Yeah.
That's rough, dude. When's well, you said whenever they're ready.
Yeah, whenever they're ready, we'll be posting about it community-wide because we want everybody there.
Yeah. I'll
Like,
definitely keep
All of the kids,
repost.
all of the families, everybody.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's horrible. Well, let me know, and I'll definitely repost it and stuff.
Okay.
Welcome to the first ever episode of A Girl Business Podcast.
Yes.
My first guest is Joe, co-owner of Lilith's Place, and I posted on Facebook that it's really, really special that you're here as my first guest because Lilith's Place was my first ever retail client, and it was
I didn't know that until the post, and I was like, oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
feel so honored.
so it was totally.
I think that you were our first official vendor too.
Oh my God,
we
really?
had some on the fence vendors that
Yeah.
were rollover from Heather's,
Yeah.
from Mary Morsels, but I think you were the first one that reached out and was like, hey, can I sell my stuff in your shop?
Yeah, official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, one thing about me, I'm about that business.
you really are. You are a go-getter. It's been really cool to see the way that you have just skyrocketed in the
you.
last year. It's really cool.
Well, cheers to that,
We
because
see
so
you.
have you girlies.
We
so.
see you all over the area and all the craft fairs and
Well, I think
making a name for yourself.
I'm trying. I'm definitely trying. And I feel like what I bring to Plumas County, I feel like you girls bring that to Lassen County because it's very much both you and Heather are so camaraderie, not competition.
Oh gosh, no.
There's just no need for it.
There's no room for it in a small town.
There's
there
not.
really isn't. I don't understand why some businesses are don't shop there. That's another coffee shop. Or don't shop there. That's another gift shop. Dude, shop everywhere.
Exactly.
Go get your coffee at the place you like your coffee. Go get your bagels at the place you like your bagels.
Exactly. There's no reason for it. Are you, do you know where Portola is?
Yes.
Are you part of the Portola group on Facebook?
I am not. I've heard some wild things though.
Dude, so much tea on there.
That's how I feel about the Susanville groups.
Really?
Like, the
I don't think
Susanville
I'm on any of
needs,
them.
if you get the chance, Susanville needs and crime and community concerns or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Girl.
Okay, what's the latest tea
Like,
in Susanville?
People just pop off. Like, we got, like, weird shit going on. You know, we get the vagrants that come through, obviously.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
people will, like, track them through town. Like, oh, so-and-so was up here. Oh, yeah, I just saw them down there. And, oh, they're over by this business. Time to lock your cars. I'm like, dude.
Oh my god.
It gets wild.
Well, I guess there is like some crazy lady. I don't remember her name. I'm not going to say it because okay, I'll cut it out. But I think her name's, I might be wrong. But I guess she moved from Susanville to Portola.
Oh.
And like all the Susanville people went on the Portola's page and like screenshotted all this evidence of her being like hella psycho and was like, oh wow, I guess like we ran you out of town. Now you're in Portola. And then all the Portola people were like, we don't want you here.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
oh my
See,
God.
it's wild. It really is.
super
That small town,
crazy.
just chaos.
It's insane. And then what I really didn't like that they did, somebody did a poll, like pinning the businesses against each other, like, well, which one's your favorite? And everybody was in
Oh,
the
that's a great idea.
I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Like, you should not be pinning. It's such a small town. You should not be pinning businesses against each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely on the same
I
page
feel
with
that. We had a whole debacle with the new coffee shop that opened up in Susanville.
Oh, how's that been going?
Like, without, I don't know, re-sparking the fire, I guess, the owner's from out of state, so she wasn't quite
Okay, already
familiar with local information, right? So she opens up this coffee shop and hires a bunch of, like, teenage girls. Like, younger, 17, 18, 19. And a huge debacle went down because some of the girls are still in school and can only work, like, limited hours, and so there's this huge thing of, like, people being let go and not being told that they were let go and not being given their paycheck. Like,
it makes me so... I feel like, especially in California, once you have employees, you're open to so
much scrutiny.
Like a lot of scrutiny, and there's so many rules and laws and regulations. And
absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm actually glad that we started talking about this because I wanted to ask you how the thing's going with Alliance.
We are working on it. I'm in the process of getting workers' comp insurance, but, like, that's pricey, and we a bunch of broke bitches here, so we're holding off on it, but we're hoping to be able to hire 2 employees through Alliance for Workforce Development, so that we can at least have some part-time coverage, because I work on base Monday through Thursday, and Heather owns Mary Morsels, so it's, like, really hard to juggle all of the things.
Yeah.
So if we could train somebody and have somebody there at least 3 days a week as, like, a buffer, come in and open the shop, or close it on a Wednesday, or work a mid-shift so that Heather can do what she has to do during the week. So we're working on that. And the cool thing with them is they will pay the salary for 6 months to a year while we train them.
Yeah.
So the goal is to either train them to the point where they're hireable anywhere else. So we train them on all the retail things, inventory, basic balancing of a register, customer service skills, all that stuff. And then let them go and let them find jobs for themselves, or keep them on as employed personnel, and then we pick up that hourly pay. But most of the people that would be hired are typically undesirables.
No skills.
Yeah, they've either got no skills, or they have a prior record, and most other people won't hire them, or they're in the process of getting their GEDs. Just people who need that leg up.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to be able to offer that here soon. I know Heather has 1 employee, I think, through Alliance. I think.
At Mary
At Mary Morsels,
Okay.
yes. And she's lovely. She is a fantastic baker, and Laura is teaching her all the tips and tricks. So
That's awesome.
that's really awesome.
I think Alliance is a really good program. For anybody who doesn't know, Alliance Workforce Development, they help businesses by, like Joe said, they cover the wages for your business, and it's through a grant, right? It's grant money. The program is really good.
Yeah, they do a lot of really great things.
Yeah, and then especially, like, they help the business and the people looking for jobs, so it's a really good program.
I support any program that offers legs up for people, because you see a lot of people that are, oh, I can't get a job, I have a criminal record and nobody will hire me. Well, then they just continue on with the criminal record path.
Exactly, because they have to make money somehow.
Yeah. Or they, they're on disability or something, and it again leads down that really bad path. So this kind of gives people a chance to gain those skills, gain that knowledge, prove that they are worth the investment of, hiring them.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how that goes going forward.
Yeah, and then every month, I don't know if it's a month or every couple weeks, they have you check in. They'll check in with you and say, oh, how's the employee doing? And you can let them go if it's not working out. So it's not like you're stuck with somebody. You have the right to say yes or no. So yeah, I think it's a super good thing, and hopefully, so they make you cover your own workers' comp. Are there any other expenses that you have to do?
There's 2 programs, I think. One is like a temp to hire program, in which they cover the wages, and then you have an obligation to hire them after the 6-month period. And then the other one is just like a temp to forward, in which you train them, give them the job skills that they need so that they have that on their resume.
Yeah.
For when they do go to Safeway or Marshall's or Walmart.
Yeah.
They can be like, look, I have retail experience.
Yeah.
I have past employers. So I know that we have to cover our own workers' comp, but the employees are covered under Alliance's workers' comp insurance. We just have to have proof that we have it. So that if we do choose to keep them on, it's all by the book.
Yeah, and that stuff's expensive, the workers' comp.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's super expensive. I think just for retail insurance right now, I'm paying $300 a month.
And what does that cover? The inventory in the store?
That covers, so we have higher end insurance because of the line of work that we do. It's not above people in Susanville to want to throw a brick through a metaphysical shop window.
Yeah.
So we have a more all-encompassing insurance. We've got inventory. We have fire insurance, obviously. We have break-in and theft, uncontrollable building damage. So it's like a pipe
so much
bursts
shit.
above us. I learned that lesson from Thomas. When
Yeah.
Thomas first started Highway to the Gaming Zone, he had that little nook and cranny by the Pioneer in uptown Susanville. It was teeny tiny. I think it's where the Golden Poppy is now. But he had first opened up, and a pipe bursts in the ceiling above him, and it just destroyed his merchandise. It bad. It just everywhere.
And he has collectible. It's a comic book. How would you describe
Game
it?
memorabilia.
Yeah.
It's Nerd Central, and I
Nerd Central.
love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, his stuff is unique. Not just stuff you can replace easily. So
So I was working with him at the Pioneer when he opened the first ever Highway to the Gaming Zone, and it was the disaster that ensued was awful.
So heartbreaking.
I remember him coming in just panicking because he didn't know how he was going to replace some of his merchandise because they are one of a kind, limited editions, stuff from his personal collection that he was using to open his shop. So we went and got that good insurance because I will be darned if, something like that happens and destroys a bunch of our merchandise.
Commercial buildings in California are crazy expensive, so I don't really know anybody that owns a commercial building.
Oh, God, no.
Most people lease, unless
Luckily,
it was
the
passed
owner
down.
of our building lives right upstairs, so we can be like, hey, the roof's leaking again.
You're knocking on this.
Yeah, he's like, okay, we'll go and pump the space between the ceiling and the wall with foam, and hopefully that'll stave it off for a little bit, because the building's almost 100 years old, so
Yeah.
there's not much you can do about it without a full renovation.
Redo, which probably costs a small fortune.
Yeah.
You said that it's not above people in Susanville to like throw bricks through metaphysical shop. So when you girls were originally like looking for a location, did you have anybody say, no, I don't want that kind of store here?
Honestly, no. We got really, really lucky. Thomas rented out the building or our shop space before we moved in. Mm-hmm. And he was going to consolidate Tea of Life over to Mary Morsel's because it just wasn't making enough money to pay rent in its own shop. Mm-hmm. And Thomas gave Heather the opportunity, hey, do you want to take over this lease? You know, we've got it locked in at a good price. Like, it's a beautiful space. And Heather just, like, jumped on it. She's like, yes, I want a witchcraft shop. I want a metaphysical shop in Susanville. And then she hit me up the next day, just out of the blue. We had barely talked on, like, the Susanville Witches page.
Mm-hmm. Is that how you girls met? Because I've always been super curious.
Yes, that's how we met.
Okay.
She started this page because she knew a bunch of pagans in the area, and none of us know each other.
Yeah.
Like, there's a massive pagan community, and we all just kind of live underground.
Right, because it's not accepted in a small town like that.
So she started the group, and there were like 50 of us, and she was trying to admin it by herself, and I hit her up one day, and I was like, hey, I'll admin this page with you if you want, because you're busy.
Right.
So we started adminning together, and then we became really good friends. And after my son was born, we, like, really clicked over magic and, like, our paths. Mm-hmm. So we were online friends, and, like, she was my supplier of cranberry orange muffins while I was pregnant. So, like, she had the good goods.
Yeah.
And then she just hit me up out of the blue. She's like, hey, do you want to start a business with me? And she sent me the business proposal, and I had just gotten a huge payout from a lawsuit. I was like, you know what? I'm sitting on some cash right now, so
yes,
let's do it. So
Talk about divine timing.
Yeah, I just like jumped in, and I just started working out on base. I'd been out there for like 6 months. I just bought my car. You know, my son had finally gotten into daycare, and I was still living at my mom's house, ironically enough. I was living at my mom's house and engaged to my now fiance and his ex-wife. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing the weird things already. Let's just a full send. We'll just go weird with it.
Get weird, people. Let's get weird.
And it just snowballed from there. Like, what was a dream one month, we were moving merchandise into this store the next month, and then planning our soft opening, and then planning our grand opening, and here we are, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, January, like 11 months in, and like we're still here. We haven't had a whole lot of pushback, magically enough. We get some pearl clutching from the little old ladies that walk up and down the street on a Sunday, you know.
Yeah. Witches.
Yeah. So that's always funny to see. And then we had some pushback from the Calvary Church for a little bit.
What were they saying? Like,
oh, the usual, burn the witches out of Susanville. We don't need their kind in our God-fearing town. Do not shop at these businesses, because if you do, you're tainting your soul. Just the usual.
Right.
If I could roll my eyes any farther into the back of my head, I'd be looking at my brain. So,
right.
But it was like real quiet and low-key, like you would see it on the Susanville groups. You know, someone would pop up when we would advertise an event or a sale or something. Do you guys really practice witchcraft? Do you worship the devil? And blah, 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 blah.
So not what it's about. Like, why would you think I worship a man?
Yeah, like, come on now. Like, do you see this? Like,
right.
Really? So that was kind of a little bit of the pushback. When the county offices rolled over, we got some more pushback from the county.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because of the type of business you are?
Yeah.
Is that even legal?
No, but it's also not legal for religion and politics to be mixed. And the pastor of the Calvary Chapel is currently sitting on our board of supervisors.
For the town?
For Lassen County.
For the town. The T. Okay, well, if there's a, are they Christian Calvary Chapel?
Yeah.
If there's a Christian on the board, then there needs to be a witch on the board.
That's what I'm saying,
Fair play.
And then they started going after, businesses that support us and...
Really?
Oh, yeah. So for a minute there, not only was Mary Morsel's and Lilith's place being boycotted, but Thomas got dragged into it too.
Oh my gosh.
Because he has supported us so much.
It's a lot of good synergy.
With a lot of business ideas. He gave us tips and tricks and pointers, and he's been a really, really good neighboring business. He kind of made us feel really welcome.
That's good.
And when the Calvary Chapel got wind of it, they started boycotting his shop too.
Did that make enough of an impact for you to feel it? For Thomas?
We felt it. Yeah, we felt it.
Oh my
Thomas
gosh.
felt it. We felt really bad, so we've been trying to distance ourselves because we don't want to affect his business.
Right.
But in all honesty, go shop at Highway to the Gaming Zone.
Yes, they got really cool stuff.
Go do it. Support our local businesses. Mm-hmm. Thomas Herrera is amazing. His crew is fantastic. You will have so much fun there. I spend hours. They've got pinball tournaments on Friday nights now.
No way!
Yeah, they do
so cool.
Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons and all that fun stuff too. So
that's awesome.
Go support them.
Yeah,
he needs it. Very surprised at the welcome we got.
That's good
overall.
And then I remember, one of the first times I came to the store, and Heather used the term, "Oh, I'm coming out of the broom closet."
Oh yes,
and I just love that.
Yes.
So, what does that mean for you girls? Coming out of the broom closet.
So, I was never in the broom closet to begin with. I grew up Christian. I grew up in a Christian household, and my dad is clutching, I don't know, his pearls, his hat, whatever, thinking about me being a witch.
Yeah.
But it's okay. He loves me nonetheless, so it's all fine. But my mom and my stepdad are very pagan. They're very spiritual, into the woo-woo stuff.
Yeah.
And so I grew up around it and was kind of left to my own devices as far as a path goes. Mm-hmm. So in high school, I bounced back and forth. I played with, Celtic paganism and Buddhism and Hellenism. And, I studied Islam and Shintoism and Taoism and shamanism and just wherever I could.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I made friends with a lady in a Gardnerian coven in Reno. And she was like, you know what? I think you would like Wicca. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Shit, I've got religious memorabilia from 15 different religions so far, so let's go, full send. Yeah. And so I did my year and a day studying as an apprentice to a Gardnerian priestess, my bad, and realized that the ritual and the love and light only do no harm thing it didn't vibe right with me. It felt too much and I hate to say it because Wiccans just are appalled by it, but it felt really similar to Catholicism.
What's Catholicism? Catholic?
Catholic, yes.
Oh, Catholic?
Yes.
Honestly, that religion, scares the shit out of me.
I love Catholicism.
Really?
It is beautiful. I love the ritual in it.
It scares me.
But, the ritual in Wicca, it was too strict and rigid for me.
How interesting, because they would probably have a field day if you told them, oh, this is very similar to Wicca.
Oh yeah, no, they would,
no,
oh my gosh, they would burst into flames. I would burst into flames. So I was just you know what, maybe this isn't for me. I got the information I wanted, I had the structure I wanted to be able to create my own path. And then I just kind of went out on my own, and so now I just call myself an eclectic, gray practicing Celtic pagan.
I love it.
So it's just a little bit of everything. I follow Astraea, which is the Norse pantheon. I follow the Celts and the Celtic pantheon. I am learning voodoo right now with a voodoo priestess.
Oh my God.
I think it's the coolest thing ever. And so I'm super excited about that.
Don't fuck with her, guys. She knows voodoo.
So, I'm just kind of on this path to learn as much as I can and just be as much as I can. So that's just kind of where it's been. And I don't think I ever had to be like, I'm a pagan, as, you know, stepping out, because I was always just kind of free to believe whatever the hell I wanted.
That's so good. That's really good.
I'm just me. I can't speak for Heather, but, you know, she's always been witchy for as long as I've known her anyways, which is a good 4 or 5 years. Like, her shop has always been witchy. She's got brooms in her window, and her logo is a witch with a cup of coffee. So
yeah, I love how the two businesses like complement each other,
Right.
and I love like that brings us to our next point. So your shop, it's all from other creators, right?
Not all of it. We make a lot of our own goods. So our business, the money we bring in for ourselves really focuses on what we create magically. So Heather makes these beautiful enchanted oils for like success and luck and money and love and protection, and they work really well. We both do candles.
Tell us about your candles here.
So I've been on a venture recently to just kind of branch out and make some of my own stuff. So I started making soy-based body-safe candles.
Oh, so you could do like the massage and stuff?
Yes, but I went more of a nefarious route with it. So
Okay.
if you dump the wax on your skin, it's not going to burn you.
Okay.
So I make penis-shaped candles for couples and stuff, for like wax play. But that's a whole other topic. that is like so far away from like why we're here.
Is it?
But so they're soy wax. They burn at a lower temperature. Means that they're not going to harm the body when the wax gets dropped on your skin.
Okay.
The oils that I use are organic essential oils, which makes for a really strong scent profile that lasts long. It burns really good. And I use body safe color as well. So everything is, you could melt this down and stick your hand in it and it wouldn't affect it.
Which is nice because you have all the kids at home. You have
Yes.
babies. You don't want
Yes,
them
so I've got 3 little kids, and the worst thing that'll hurt them is the flame.
Yeah.
So they can dump the wax out, and it's not going to hurt them. I will never get it out of my carpet, but it's not going to hurt them.
They smell really,
Thank
really
you.
good. They're beautiful.
So typically I make the candles with intention. So this one is a sandalwood and orange, and sandalwood is for protection, and orange is for abundance.
Ooh.
Typically I would make candles like that, either a black or a green color, but because your whole vibe is beautiful pink,
Is it?
I strayed from the tradition and gave you some pink candles.
Oh, thank you.
And then I have 2 lavender and roses as well, and lavender and rose are both calming and protective scents to give kind of like that home vibe.
Yeah. I love it. And then what do we have here? These are gorgeous.
These are dressed chime candles. So chime candles are like 4-inch pillar candles. They are used in spell work. And so when we dress them, we use a sacred oil that Heather makes and a blend of herbs to coat the candle with intention. So this one is for artistic flame. This is for creativity and a losing of control, just kind of like that artist's muse sort of vibe. And I would recommend lighting this before you do any sort of like editing or artwork or like get in the zone.
Okay.
And it just kind of brings that intention to whatever you're doing. The one you're holding is energy and focus. And so that one, the oil is made specifically to induce sort of like an Adderall effect. You know,
I've never taken Adderall. It's one of the only things I haven't tried.
Hyper focus.
Okay.
So I recommend, Heather makes this oil called the Witchy Ritalin.
Oh,
and
how
I recommend it for the
cool.
ADHD girlies because like a little bit on your pulse points and you're just in the zone.
That is so
And
creative.
it's wild. I had to bottle a bunch of it 2 weeks ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt like some cracked out squirrel because I was just like all of the things to do.
Yeah.
And I spent the rest of the day just zipping around the shop because
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was a
strong
lot.
stuff.
Yes, it's very strong. But it's all just organic essential oils. Like, there's a huge thing to be said for scents.
Mm-hmm.
Our body relies really heavily on our olfactory senses.
Yeah. Well, your nose has like the strongest memory, right?
Yeah.
Like scents are really important.
Yeah, so things like peppermint, eucalyptus, cinnamon, those all induce a state of focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then things like lavender, rosemary, orange, those are very calming, relaxing scents.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you mix scents properly, you can get a desired effect because it tricks the brain into producing the chemicals needed.
Oh, that's interesting.
So Heather and I like to say a lot of witchcraft is spicy psychology.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we do is just tricking your brain into thinking that it can be done.
Yeah.
If you carry a protection charm around with you, you're going to think you're protected.
Yeah.
And therefore, you pay more attention. You're a little more focused. You drive a little safer, just subconsciously, because you have that I am protected sort of thing. Have you watched Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know that scene where Jack Sparrow's given the jar of dirt from the voodoo priestess?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a jar of dirt.
Yeah.
What's it for? Well, if you don't want it, give it back. Well, I want it.
Yeah.
Then it works. Like, it's simple as that. If you keep it and you think it works, it's going to work.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's all about intentions. Like, you girls are really big on intentions.
Yes.
And it's what you're thinking, like, the thoughts in your mind radiate and vibrate, and that's what you're creating. So these are really, really beautiful. So when you guys create your products, like, do you have a separate business for your candles and your essential oils and stuff, or is it all just under Lilith's Place?
That's all part of Lilith's Place.
Okay.
So everything that we create are Lilith's Place recipes, and they are only found from us. Nobody else has them.
Oh, cool.
And that's why we're opening up our shop online so that people can get access to our product from a longer distance.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited. And do you know when did you say March 1st?
March 1st,
Okay.
yes. We will be going live. Our website is tentatively up. I write blog posts on it. You can get information about events that our store is doing, whether that's classes we hold, special shopping events, any partnerships we're doing with Frosting Families or with Highway to the Gaming Zone or the Chamber of Commerce. All of that information is available. I write blog posts twice a month, and it's basically me info dumping online about all of the random pagan metaphysical shit that I have managed to cram into my brain over the years.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you're a vessel for knowledge. You did all this research, like she knows what she's talking about. Okay, she didn't just see a couple TikToks on witchcraft. Like, this is the real deal.
Honestly, if I could go on Jeopardy, I would, because there is so much random useless stuff stored in my brain that I wonder how I can function.
Yeah.
In all honesty. So we have all of that information available, and then March 1st, our website goes live for the storefront, and you'll be able to find all of our homemade goods. We will be, hopefully, by June 1st, we will have subscription boxes available.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So the same way that, like, Mindful Souls and Tamed Wild does their subscription boxes, we will also do them. They will come with a spell that you can do yourself, tips and tricks, a ritual plan, altar pieces, miscellaneous crystals, and every month will be curated based on the Wheel of the Year.
Okay.
So you will be able to add things to your altar or to your workspace to kind of help vibe with the seasons.
Yeah.
And then all of our oils and our candles, altar pieces, they will all be available. And we have partnered exclusively with Kelly Harlow from Gemstone Genie.
She's the wire wrap girl. She
yes.
gets me every single time I go to Lilith's place.
I spend so much money from her.
I love her stuff. Like every single time I feel a new goddess calling to me, I go in your shop and I'm like, oh, there's the ring for it. Like the Hecate with the 3 moons. I have that one. And then I was working with Lakshmi for a little bit, and there was it was beautiful. It was gold and it had a little purple. I love Kelly's stuff. I'm gonna ask her to come on the show actually because I love her stuff.
Do it. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I adore her.
She's so good.
And her husband is so crafty too.
Oh,
like,
cool.
The 2 of them are just like a power couple.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. So we'll have her rings and her wire wrap jewelry available exclusively on our website.
Is she going to create a collection that's like just for Lilith's place? That's
and
great.
She will also be doing custom rings made to order from our website. So we have it set up. You get to pick your stone. You get to pick your wire type, your wrap style, and your size. Order it through us, and then Kelly Harlow will make it. And we'll ship it out. Custom made, one-of-a-kind pieces. Super excited for that.
Yeah.
She's really excited.
Her stuff, and it lasts forever too, because I bought the rings when you girls like first opened. I bought the Hecate one, and it's still, it's in my normal rotation.
She's so talented.
I love her stuff. And I think it's great. Like that's exactly like what I want this podcast to be about, is there's so many opportunities for all the business owner women to work with each other and like help uplift each other. Like she's going to bring you girls new business and you're going to bring her new business. And I just think that's a much better route to go than competing.
The network opportunities.
Yeah.
Like if we were to just get together and all of us all at once be like, look, no competition. Here's my business cards, hand them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, this is what I want to do. I need somebody who has that talent to help me do it.
Yes.
Like,
right.
We could run the world if we would just stop bickering and competing.
Yes.
Like, in all honesty.
Cheers to that.
We could run the world.
Literally. We honestly could. So, okay, well, that kind of brings us into our next point, because you and Heather are friends and run the business. So what is it like? And there was the 3. So however much you do or don't want to say, but basically, what is it like to kind of mix friendship and business?
So there was 3. So I am going to really briefly say I do not recommend anybody go into business with a spouse or a significant other. And it's same sex, opposite sex, doesn't matter. Like the working behind the scenes thing is like one thing, you know. You have your lovely man who has done all of the hard labor for you.
I know that's right.
So special. And that's one thing. But like, could you imagine him trying to run your business with you? Like,
no, I'd light him on fire.
Yeah,
that's kind of extreme.
Absolutely, 100%. So we learned a lesson. We don't mix business and pleasure. Duh. Working with a good friend has been really interesting because we vibe so well together. Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, we butt heads.
Yeah.
Heather, if you watch this, I love you dearly. Please don't murder me. We are both incredibly ADHD. Mm-hmm. Like, she is medicated. I should be medicated. Like, we are so bad. So we just kind of leave this trail of destruction in our paths throughout our day. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, by the end of the day, we pick up what we can and then we're like, we're done. We're going.
Yeah.
So the next one comes into the shop and there's a half-clean trail of destruction. And so we have to, like, pick up the day before's destruction before we can create our own destruction.
Yeah.
So that's been an interesting thing to kind of figure out how to work around.
Well, that would be a great opportunity for the person that you bring in from Alliance. Like, hey, we need you to, like,
help us out.
Yeah.
Like, we are just, ooh, squirrel.
Yeah.
And not in the funny, haha, I have ADHD. It is detrimental to running a business to have ADHD. Like, it's so bad.
Everything's so exciting. Like, when you're in a creative type business, everything is so exciting.
Yeah, so I spend my days bouncing around from one project to the next. Mm-hmm. So, like, I do magic, and I do spell jars, and I do tarot readings, and I make candles, and I do consultations, and thanks to Heather, I've been branching out into psychic work and work beyond the veil. So I spend a lot of time in meditation and working with clients that way. Mm-hmm. but I also do all of the money stuff. So I do all of the books and all of the record keeping. So we're just every which direction all the time. So it's been really difficult trying to find that balance.
Yeah, well, because that's very, like, switching from hard left brain to hard right brain.
And the whiplash is terrible.
It's brain
so bad.
whiplash.
Yeah.
That's a really good metaphor.
And then, like, I've found that it's really difficult to kind of separate, okay, like, here's us talking as friends, and then here's us talking business.
Yeah.
Because for me, I find confrontation to be really difficult. Mm-hmm. And not only am I ADHD, I'm autistic. Mm-hmm. So having to have those difficult conversations, I know I come off sounding like a bitch. I know it. I am aware. But in those moments, like, I have to just words out or they words in.
Yeah.
And I spiral. So having those conversations, business conversations, or, you know, we're going to be late on our rent this month because we were $100 shy. Like, those conversations are really difficult. So that's been really interesting to navigate with a friend, but she is also so overwhelmingly understanding, and like, she knows what's going on, she knows where I'm coming from. I honestly, aside from setting Maze, our shop dog, on fire, I don't think that there is much that I could do to, like, really upset her as far as the business goes.
Yeah.
But, like, we're trying really hard. We're going to make it work.
Yeah.
There is an empire that we are building, and it's going to happen.
Well, and it's needed, too. Like, there's a huge underground community, and, yeah, it's definitely needed. And, you know, your girls are still in your first year, so.
Yeah. So, like, we knew that it was going to be bumpy this first year. Like, we're trying to figure out, one, how to run a business. Like, I have never run a business before. You know, I've never done anything of this scale. But that has been, like, a real hurdle to jump over. Like, trying to figure out how to do it, and then figure out how to manage myself, because I worked 15 years in retail. Like, I have worked at Marshalls and TJ Maxx and Walmart and Kohl's and, you know, the small retail shops, boutiques. I've done all of that, and I've done waitressing. Like, my customer service is great. I can help you out with whatever you need. I got you. But, like, there is so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and people have no idea. Like, you will never understand how much work it is to own a business until you have owned a business. It's so much. And it's not 9 to 5 and then you're at home and it's out of mind. No, it's like 5 a.m. Yeah, it's insane.
I get home from work on base at 6 o'clock, and then from, like, 6 till 9, I'm chasing my kids around and trying to feed them and get them ready for the next day, and taking care of my fiance and doing book work. And also I'm trying to reteach myself Excel, which has been, I hate Excel. Really? I hate it so much. So, like, I'm learning all of that, and I'm creating this website, so I'm teaching myself how to code. And then I have my study that I do, so I'm constantly researching new metaphysical insights and herbalism, and I'm working on getting my herbalist certificate right now and my tarot reader certificate through Biddy Tarot.
Oh, that's exciting.
So, like, there's just a million things, and all of it's to benefit the business. And then I go to bed and I wake up and I do it all over again. And then Fridays and Saturdays and every other Sunday, I'm in the shop doing all the things that need to be done there on my end.
Right.
While also managing, you know, tarot clients and magic work, and trying to fit in some time just to play with magic, because why not?
Right. You have to,
you know, it's fun.
Do it for fun. Otherwise, you'll just get burnt out.
So it's, and I'm sure Heather has the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, she's...
Yeah. It's a lot.
What is sleep?
You have to love what you do. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like that's the only thing that keeps us going is because it's fun. We have fun with it.
I love my business. I love my practice. I'm very out and proud about the fact that I am a witch and that I am pagan. And, like, being able to spread that with the community has been such a cool thing.
Of all ages, too.
Yeah.
Of all ages.
2 months ago, I had a lady come in with her daughter. She was, like, 13 years old.
I think I don't know if that's the time I was there, but I was in one time, and it was, somebody had brought in, like, a young girl, and they had questions about, like, tarot and stuff. And
so this lady, she brings her daughter in, she goes, I'm Christian, but my daughter wants to learn about Wicca and paganism, and I don't know what to tell her because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So here, teach her, please.
And good for that mom, too.
And I was like, heck yeah. So she's been coming in when she can, and we teach her little tips and tricks on, how to use crystals, how to burn candles, set up an altar. We've exchanged books so that she can do some research on her own.
Yeah.
And she'll be signing up for my next round of tarot classes that I will be teaching at the shop. So it's like, it's been really cool to just reach out and teach people.
Yeah.
As Heather says, we don't eat babies anymore. They're stringy and they smell funny and, like, people get mad about it. So, like, why not present this, I don't know, more modern front to what we do?
Yeah.
So it's been really cool for the community outreach.
Yeah, and of all ages, and everybody's welcome. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen young people, old people, men, women, everyone in between.
And like, we get people that come in and they don't even realize that it's a witchcraft shop. Mm-hmm. Why you wouldn't, I don't know. We are literally Lilith's place with a tree of life and a giant protection sigil on it. Like, if you know, you know. Yeah. But they come in and they look for gifts, and they, people tell them that we have a huge crystal selection. So we get geologists and rockhounds in all the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
So not only do I get to learn and teach magic, but I am learning so much about geology and crystals and rock formation, like, profound.
Well, I think the store it's much more than a store. It's literally like a wealth of resources and knowledge and
we really wanted to create a community space.
Yeah.
In all honesty, we wanted a place where people could come and congregate and share information and make connections, and we've connected so many people with each other. We've connected healers with clients. We do drum circles now.
Oh, fun.
And like full moon gatherings, and just a place where we can experience each other, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Because we feel really alone out here in a small community.
It's hard. It's hard living in the mountains.
Yeah, and we don't have those resources like Reno does. There's several Gardnerian and other pagan chapters out there, and there's witchcraft shops on every block. Mm-hmm. But who really wants to travel an hour and a half away?
Yeah.
To try and find one.
And some of them are so commercialized.
Oh, gosh.
Like, you go into the bigger cities and it's like the metaphysical shop. It doesn't have that smell, like the incense smell,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is just wrapped in plastic, and it's not authentic.
I'm sorry. I want to fondle my crystals if I'm going to buy them.
Period. And at your shop, it's either created by you or Heather or other local girlies. Or do you guys have anything from men in there that men create?
I know we have Reckless Raven. They're a partnership, a husband and wife, and they work together to create some beautiful, like, altar boxes and kits. And they have a wealth of, like, antiques and books and stuff they've found all over the world.
That's awesome.
So, but honestly, I think he is the only one.
Yeah.
Like, we're supplied almost exclusively by women.
There's some girl power in there, and you can feel it when you go in there. I love it. Yeah. So the original business plan, was that your girls' plan? Like, we want to bring in items from other locals? Or did that just kind of happen naturally?
We wanted a few items from locals. So, like, obviously we wanted Lasting Creations on board, and Gemstone Genie and Larissa's Crystals and Babes by Janaea and some other, local artisans. but it just kind of word spread.
Quick.
Yeah, it spread like wildfire, and people were coming in like, look, I have this niche ability. You know, I'm an artist, or I make altar oils and sprays, or I can acquire things from wholesalers, and it trickled down to become like this mass group project.
Yeah.
And we could not have done it without all of our vendors. I think we have 22 vendors on the books right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Are you girls accepting more, or you're like, we don't have room?
We are not accepting more at the moment, but we're getting ready to have a vendor meet and greet because, thank you, powers that be, things are getting more expensive. And so we're going to have some conversation about, you know, how we can help you guys maintain business and what we have to do to be able to maintain business on our end. Unfortunately, the price of everything's going up. And so the price of everything is going to go up, and we're just working on getting that ironed out so that we can, we might have room for some new vendors, pending if people want to branch out and continue working in other places or continue on with us. Sign of the times.
Yeah. Or like maybe some people, like for me, I have like a couple different products, so maybe I'll just reel it in and say, okay, I want to do like my goddess murals, and that's it, you know, and make room. Or the way that I heard about your girls' shop was my neighbors, Xander and Eden, and now Kaya.
I love them.
They're my neighbors.
Oh my gosh, I love them so much.
They're my neighbors, and they're like, Heather with Mary Morsels and Lilith's Place and Joe, and they're doing this. So that's how I found out about you girls.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I was all the way in Lake Elminor. So do you guys have people from like far away that have reached out?
Honestly, I got an email from an artisan in Portland, Oregon the other day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I
That's
don't
a
know
good
how
sign.
she found us, but she did. She is a potter, and she does
cool.
like dishes and bowls and handmade teaspoons and stuff like that. And she reached out and she was like, I would like to be able to sell some of my product in your shop. You know, I have some things that are more mundane, but I also cater to a very eclectic sort of, I think she said goblin core vibe. And I was like, I love that. Like, I give off goblin vibes. Yes. So
That's cool.
I'm going to have a Zoom meeting with her later this week, and we're going to talk shop because her products are beautiful.
Dude, that's awesome. All the way from Oregon. Did she say how she found out about you guys?
Nope. I have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea, but I have friends in Oregon that have been really supportive. So I'm sure they told somebody who told somebody else. Or
you never know.
It just baffled me. I just opened up the business email one day and it's like, oh, Portland, huh? Like, how cool is that?
That's
so
awesome.
We might buy some of her stuff at cost or at profit for her. Hopefully, I would love to be able to give her profit.
Yeah.
And sell it in our shop, just to be able to have that available here.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty unique pottery. Like, that's no
Yeah.
joke. That's such a beautiful art form. I wish I knew how to do it, but I don't, and I'm too lazy to learn.
Mine, the extent of my pottery is like coil pots, you know, that we did in elementary and middle school. Like, that's about it.
Yeah, I don't have, I wish I had the time to like learn every single art, you know, like I love to see how things are made, but I just don't have the capacity. That's why I like pairing up with other women, because I'm like, oh, you make resin, like will you make resin for me in a specific way that is exclusive for me that I can sell and give you credit for?
Yep.
You know, I think that synergy like that is so important.
Oh, yes.
I know you have your website coming up.
Yes.
Any other exciting like projects, or personal or business wise?
Well, business wise, I know that this is going to air in March, but for Valentine's Day we're doing couples tarot readings. So we have an event going on for that. We have been hosting adult themed parties.
Yeah, okay, I want to talk to you about that. How's that been going? Because Heather makes like adult cakes, and then you make adult candles.
Yes, so she does the Mary Morsels After Dark, and we are doing, like, I don't even know what to call it, but the equivalent candle and magic wise. So I have a whole line of seduction candles coming out, a whole bunch of different options and scent profiles to kind of spice things up in the bedroom, so to speak. I exclusively dabble in naked women and penis-shaped candles.
Period. The important ones.
You know, I can't help myself. I do wax melts now, too.
Yeah.
And they come in cute little gift bags. So
Okay, I definitely am going to get some of those.
Gift your friends a bag of dicks if you would like. And then we have some vendors that are able to procure new adult toys, I guess. So once every couple of months, we close our shop early, and we do 18 and up themed shopping events. Kelly Harlow's gotten on board.
Oh my God, what's she making?
She found some beautiful little crystal penises that she wraps in wire for like card charms or bracelets or necklaces. It's delightful. It's amazing.
That's really so cool. That's so fun.
And we all gather around and we just network and have fun and buy things to. My husband fiance loves and hates it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because the week beforehand, I come home with like handfuls of just penis-shaped candles. I'm like, look, babe, look at this one. Smell this one.
Smell the sweetener.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Yeah,
but
I think that's awesome.
We have different. One February 7th. And then we're doing one again mid-April. Let's see, other things for the business. We have, we're starting back up our tarot classes. So I will be running 2 tarot classes a month. They're hour-long classes, $25 a person.
Super reasonable.
Yeah, and that is the class that I teach it starts from very basic, like how do you purchase your deck? How do you take care of your deck? What are the cards? And then goes into more in-depth as this class series progresses to, how do the cards interact with each other? How can you use them to speak with deities or past loved ones? Or what spreads do you use for different situations? So really looking forward to that. Heather is doing candle magic classes. She's teaching some oil classes. So if you guys want to be able to make your own enchanted oils.
Ooh, I like that.
She will be doing instruction for that. And those pair with like candle anointing. So you'll go home with the oil you made and a candle to complement it. And yeah, just so many things in the works.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. My mom, she comes to visit me pretty often at the lake, and we're really into that kind of stuff. So we'll definitely, I'm thinking like maybe around Mother's Day, if you girls, I'm sure you'll be doing it in the spring.
Oh, most definitely.
So I'll definitely, that'll be like a fun like mommy-daughter date.
Yes.
So we'll definitely be out there for that, because I would love to bring like an essential oil to my fairs with me. Like for abundance and good luck and community.
Oh, yeah. And if you make it yourself, it's far more powerful than if you buy it. So.
Well, I love it. That's really exciting.
And then personally, we're welcoming the new baby into the house. The fiance and I have started planning our wedding.
Ooh!
Which I'm super, super excited.
Do you know when?
about.
Like what time of year?
We have a date, June 26th, 2026.
Oh, that's powerful. 6/26/26?
Yes. My little nerdy heart was like, oh my gosh, 626. We could have a Stitch wedding. And my fiance goes, absolutely not. No way in hell.
I'm kind of all for
Vetoed.
it. I think that's great.
So I think I might incorporate something real subtle in there.
Yeah. Like only a true fan would see it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll serve ice cream at the dessert table.
Yeah.
Just something fun like that. Play Elvis in the background.
Yeah.
So we're planning that, which is proving to be a lot.
Weddings are like no joke.
Gosh. And I heard that you were having a wedding line that you were getting started. So
yes.
we're going to have to talk shop soon because...
Please do. I just met with, I'm helping my cousin with her wedding. So she's kind of like my first wedding client.
Okay.
And I just took her out to Reno to meet with the owner of it's called The Stylish Scribe. And her cards are beautiful, like gorgeous. And then she has somebody that she outsources that does like embossing, if you want like embossed cards. So that's my connection for wedding invitations.
Okay.
And then I can do like a really pretty acrylic cake toppers, or kind of just like the little details at the end, you know, to bring everything together, or like acrylic signs or table menus or guest books. So
I'm looking for like brides and bridesmaids gear.
Oh yeah.
I know that you got the hookup for the good custom made stuff.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Anything custom, like with people's names and just like special things. I hardly ever make the same thing twice.
Oh, I know.
So
I know.
Yeah, you know.
Believe me, I've tried looking and like I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that pattern. Not available.
Yeah. I mean, I could remake it.
I mean, something similar, but
yeah, I hardly ever make the same thing twice. And my grandma's like, you need to like, if it sells, then make it again because it sells. And I'm like, boring.
Right? Like, I don't want everybody walking around with the exact same tumbler.
Exactly.
What's the fun in that?
But if there's something that you see and you're like, oh, I want this, let me know. I'll remake it for you. And I'll do something like, I'll tweak it a little bit so it's special for you. Like put a little silhouette of Morrigan or something.
Yes.
Yeah, because I still remember that's your goddess. I remember.
Yes. I started working with Loki recently.
Really?
That has been
wild.
I knew that he'd been poking around for like a minute, like dropping subtle hints.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just kept being like, no, I don't want to work with Loki. I don't need the chaos. I don't want the trickster energy. Like I'm not vibing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are on warrior goddess, boss babe path. Like I am not
Leave me
down
alone.
for chaos. And one day he just like everything in my day just went to absolute dog crap. Like, my alternator started going out. I was on my way to work, and my car just, like, died at the gas station. Couldn't get it started. Had to have it towed back to the house.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, and then it started up just fine once we towed it to the house.
Yeah.
Everything just went haywire for, like, a good week. And then Heather got a shipment in, and lo and behold, a singular Loki statue was in that shipment.
Oh,
and I was like,
gosh.
No wait, dude. Absolutely not. And she goes, well, I can't just sell one, so here you go.
He forced his way.
No. And it's been wild because I spend so much time avoiding chaos. Mm-hmm. Like, in everything that my life has been in the last year. Like, with chaos comes destruction.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid it, and I try to like distance myself from chaotic energy. Like I want balance, I want peace, I want integrity. Like I don't want that trickster energy. Don't want it. But he's kind of helping me more to understand and realize that I can be balanced in the midst of chaos.
Yeah, which is, if you can do that, then you know you're super strong if you can stay rooted.
It's been trials.
Yeah.
But it's also like really helped with owning my own shortcomings, my own downfalls. So the more I've studied, the more I realize that Loki makes all of these mistakes. You know, he does the things, he makes the fuck ups, but he finds the most unbridled, far left way to fix it. Yeah. And he ends up fixing his problems. Yeah. Like he will get people into the issues, but then he will find a way to get out of it. Yeah. So that sort of like balance of trials and tribulations meets like picking up the mess afterwards has been really interesting. Yeah. As far as offering goes, he loves coffee, he loves dark whiskey, he loves chocolates and toys and trinkets and aunts and aunts.
He's just like me for real.
Yeah. Which is really cool because the Morgan seems to have the same sort of thing. Yeah. Like she likes the little trinkets, the crow brain stuff. Yeah. It's like bits of bones or feathers or, you know, small pieces of jewelry, knickknacks, stuff like that. So they vibe real well together, which I was worried about. Yeah. Yeah. So that's been interesting. Loki's been pushing towards like, hey, my daughter would like to talk to you, and I'm like, there's no way.
Who's his daughter?
Hell.
Who's that?
She's the queen of the underworld in Norse mythologies.
Okay.
Like she rules the underworld in which the elderly and the infirm go. So if you didn't die valiantly in battle, you died in your sleep or of old age or of sickness, you would reside in hell. And like she's this very vengeful woman.
I wonder why she wants to talk to you.
Your guess is as good as mine. But I'm just like, absolutely not. No, thank you. You know, I've already got the Morgan on my side, and she is vengeance at its finest.
Yeah.
Like, she is battle insanity. I'm good.
Yeah.
So we're going to hold that off as long as possible.
You might get a statue in the mail soon of her.
No, dude. Don't say that, because it just might happen.
That's insane. Any advice for women that want to start a business or get into the practice?
Do it. Honestly, just do it. Like, if you want to do it alone, do all of the research you can beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's a home business or starting a coffee shop or a restaurant or opening a bookstore, whatever. Do the research first, because learning on the fly is the hardest thing. So do your research first, find your market, find a niche, and then just go for it.
Just jump in.
Like, don't be tepid about it. Don't like dip a toe in. I'm gonna do this as a hobby and see if it works out. No, just do it.
And there's never like a right time.
Yeah. I did mine in the middle of the year. Like, just if you want to do it, do it. It is simultaneously the most stressful and the most rewarding thing I have ever done, aside from raise children. So, like...
It kind of is like a child.
Oh,
a
most
business
definitely.
is like a baby.
Yeah. She talks back and, causes problems, and you gotta...
Cost a fortune.
Oh, good golly. Between the business and the kids, it'll be a miracle if I make it out financially intact. But that is a problem for another day.
Yeah, you'll get there. The business, I mean, girls are already like getting people interested out of state. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah,
so
we're super excited.
Yeah, it's like a business, kind of like a snowball, I think, you know?
It starts out big or really tiny, and then like before you know it, you're creating this empire. And like that's our goal. Heather and I want this empire, like of the scale of Llewellyn's, like just this massive informational hub for modern paganism and female empowerment and education and resources. Like, that's what we want at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, if people want more information, if they want to come check out your store, or if they want to add you on social media, what's the best way to get a hold of you girls?
We have a Facebook page, Lilith's Place, LILITH' Place on Facebook. You can find us on TikTok as well.
Oh, that's fun.
Lilith's.place3 on TikTok. And our website is shoplilithsplace.com. Shop is spelled SHOPPE in the old English way.
Oh, that's cool. And I'll have all this linked in the description.
Yes. We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are closed on Mondays, but we are available by appointment anytime. You can schedule your appointments through our Facebook page, reach out to Heather or myself, or reach out on our website, because we have the ability to do that now.
Ooh! Do you do like the TikTok trends and stuff?
I'm working up to it. We took a bit of a hiatus when all of the weird things in the personal life took us out for a minute, but like getting back into it, I'm excited to be posting sneak peeks on our TikTok, but we do a lot of like spell information, shop tours. Cool. I'm going to do a tarot card a day, series
Oh, that's a good idea.
where I will pull a card and explain it and give a reason to pay attention to it for the day. And
Yeah, I love that. It's a good way to start the day. So keep your eye out for that. A
Yes.
good way to start your day with intentions.
follow us on TikTok. It's fun. I'm trying to get Heather in front of the camera, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's not for
I
everyone.
might have to catch her like off guard.
Yeah.
Just sneak up on her. Heather, real quick, answer this question.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on the
Thank
show.
you for having
It was
me.
really, really fun. My first guest and my first retail client, and I was their first retail, merchant?
Vendor. Yeah.
Vendor. So that I love to see it come full circle. And thank you so much for my candles. I'm going to light these right now.
course.
Is there anything else that you want the people to know, or?
Honestly, find a reason to be magical today.
Oh,
Like,
I
in
love
all
that.
honesty, do something that makes you feel good and is good for someone else.
I love that.
And you may not think it, but you are magic. So,
Especially if you're a woman, you're born with it.
yeah, so just embrace it today.
Cheers to that. For the 50th time. I love to cheers.
Yes. I taught my son how to do it when he was little. He'd
Really?
walk up with his bottle, cheers!
Aw.
Like, and then take a sip.
That's super
Cheers!